Sam was 27 years old, 5 years into his career. 5 years of waking up in the same small room. 5 years of wearing the same worn-out shirts. And 5 years of asking the same silent question every night. How long will my life stay like this? Sam worked hard. He wasn't lazy or careless. He showed up on time and stayed late when needed. Yet strangely, at the end of every month, his wallet was still empty. Money came, money left, faster than his breath. Dreams did the same. Every evening, on his way back to his tiny rented room, Sam passed by a quiet neighborhood of grand villas. Soft, golden lights glowed behind tall glass windows. Luxury cars rested beneath neatly trimmed trees. Everything inside those walls looked peaceful, distant, untouchable. Sam often stopped there, not out of envy, but out of wonder. What path did they walk, he'd think, to reach a life like this? That night, the wind was cool. The lights inside the largest villa burned brighter than usual. Sam found himself standing longer than he intended before the tall, black iron gate. And then, something strange happened. The gate slowly opened by itself. Sam froze. His heart pounded. Every instinct told him to turn back. But another quiet voice inside whispered, "Maybe this is not an accident." And so, he stepped inside. The garden was unexpectedly calm. No loud music, no extravagant display, just soft lights, a wide green lawn, and the gentle sound of water flowing from a fountain. At the far end of the garden stood an elderly man watering a row of small trees. His hair was gray, his movements slow yet steady, his clothes simple. Nothing about him looked wealthy. Sam swallowed hard and spoke nervously. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to come in." The man turned and smiled gently. "It's all right," he said. "You look like someone searching for answers." For reasons Sam could not explain, his chest suddenly felt lighter. Years of buried anxiety surfaced in his voice. "I just want to know why some people become wealthy and people like me never do." The man placed the watering can down. "My name is Mr. Hayes," he said. "If you truly wish to know, I can tell you." Sam sat on a stone bench beneath an old tree. For the first time in a long while, he felt as though he was sitting before a doorway that could change his life. Mr. Hayes spoke slowly. "Most people believe wealth and poverty are matters of luck, but the truth is simpler and far more uncomfortable. They are the result of tiny habits repeated every single day. I will not teach you how to get rich quickly," Mr. Hayes continued. "There is no magic here, but I will share with you 5 principles. If you live by them, your life will change quietly, inevitably. Principle 1. Never spend more than you earn. Most poor people are not poor because they earn too little," Mr. Hayes said. "They're poor because they spend too quickly." Sam felt his throat tighten. He remembered the expensive phone he bought to feel successful, the cafe visits he couldn't afford but refused to give up, the impulsive swipes of his bank card just to momentarily escape reality. "Money never disappears," Mr. Hayes said. "It only changes pockets." For the first time, Sam realized his problem was not income. It was discipline. Principle 2. Always have an emergency fund. "Life does not warn you before it strikes," Mr. Hayes said softly. "An illness, a job loss, an accident. One moment is enough to send you back to zero." He explained how the wealthy always kept 6 to 12 months of living expenses untouched. Sam felt a wave of unease. He had never saved even one full month of income in his entire life. Principle 3. Invest in yourself before anything else. "Poor people buy things that lose value," Mr. Hayes said. "The wealthy buy skills." He spoke of how he once lived in a small rented room like Sam, spending his evenings learning communication, sales, and investing, while others wasted time complaining. Every book you read, every skill you learn, is a seed. You do not see the results tomorrow, but when the harvest comes, it comes faster than you expect. Sam lowered his head. For years, he had used time only to make money. but he had never used money to buy knowledge. Principle 4. Increase active income. Trading time for money is the fastest way to grow tired for life, Mr. Hayes said. He told stories of people who built online skills, started small businesses, and created value rather than selling hours. You cannot save yourself into wealth, he said. You must increase your value. For the first time, the idea of becoming rich no longer felt imaginary. It felt structured. Principle 5. Build passive income. The wealthy sleep while their money works, Mr. Hayes said, explaining investments and assets that generated income without daily labor. But passive income does not come from daydreams, he added. It comes from years of quiet discipline. Sam realized something painful and powerful at once. He had always looked for shortcuts. The wealthy had always chosen the long road. The night grew deep. Sam was no longer the same man who had entered through the gate out of curiosity. Something within him had shifted. So wealth is not luck? Sam whispered. Mr. Hayes smiled. It is a strategy of living. That night, Sam barely slept. In his small room, he took a piece of paper and began to write, not a wish list, but a plan. Cut unnecessary spending. Save 20% of income. Study one new skill every night. Create a second stream of income. Learn how investments truly work. No excuses. No waiting for someday. No blaming the world. Only steps. The months that followed were not glamorous. Sam declined expensive gatherings. He studied late into the night. He worked weekends. He tracked every dollar. There were nights when exhaustion nearly broke him. Times he wanted to quit. But every time he passed the gate of that grand villa, he no longer stopped to dream. He stopped to remind himself, one day, I will not only stand outside the gate. 3 years passed. Sam did not become a millionaire, but he became something far more rare. He was debt-free. He had savings. He had multiple streams of income, and he no longer feared his future. One quiet evening, Sam walked past the villa again. The gate stood closed, as always, but this time he did not need it to open for him. The gate that once mattered was now inside him, the gate of financial awareness and personal discipline. Thanks to Mr. Hayes. Thanks to one quiet conversation that changed everything. No one stays poor because they lack money. They stay poor because they lack understanding of how money truly works. No one becomes wealthy through luck that lasts. They become wealthy through discipline repeated for years. If today you feel trapped by your finances, do not be ashamed. But if tomorrow you understand the truth and still refuse to change, that is when poverty dot. Hey, thanks for sticking around. If this story caught your interest, make sure to share your thoughts with us.